2 months ago to the day, the tragic news came. Ryan Fischer, a standout athlete and scholar at Granville High School, had died suddenly in his sleep.
It's a wound that's still fresh for the community that has endured so much, but the community and Ryan's parents are determined to make sure that his legacy of goodness lives on.
Jack Doles was able to speak with his parents in their first interview since they lost their son. Jack.
Yeah, you know, each year, the Granville Middle School hands out the Be an 11 award. It goes to the student who exhibits great character. Ryan Fischer won that award when he was in 8th grade. And for the rest of his life, he strived to be an 11 in everything he did.
The movie based on my life, what the title of it would be, I'd have to say, Ryan Fischer, Defender of America.
If Hollywood ever makes a movie on the life of Ryan Fischer, it will be a tragically uplifting story.
A star athlete and scholar found dead at home.
But they'll have to wait on the ending, because despite his sudden passing, that has yet to be written.
Initially, it was a sad, hard thing to deal with, but as time has gone on, you learn that you truly have to celebrate what you had while he was here.
There is a lot to celebrate. Ryan was a 3-sport athlete, an honor student, a leader with a burning desire to serve.
I really love America. Big patriot.
He was big time USA. If we were ever to play like a World War II game, in his backyard, just playing around, he would always have to be America or he wouldn't play.
He was so sure of his path, Ryan started telling people in 3rd grade he was going to go to West Point.
It was a commitment to serve something higher than, bigger than himself, and to be a part of that really drove him.
Ryan received his appointment to West Point in February. His desire to serve extended to every facet of his life. He went on 4 mission trips, logged over 400 hours of community service. But his most important work was done in the halls and classrooms of Granville High School. He was one of those rare students whose reach extended to every peer group.
He put others before himself. Determined.
Inspirational.
Brilliant.
Perfection.
Respectful. There was one time my friends were teasing me and all that, but it was like he came up and he said, "You should stop, man. It's not right."
He did stuff that, good Samaritans would do, but, maybe some people wouldn't even think about doing. So, it's so important to live our lives like him because, the world was a better place when he was here.
Lord, today we ask you to fill our hearts with happiness and love and our minds with Ryan's unforgettable smile.
He's going to live on through us. We have to be who he was. No exaggeration when I say this.
A friend of his from both school and church got up and spoke about the fact that Ryan had, I don't remember his exact words, but he was in a low spot in his life.
In all honesty, he saved my life. He approached me at a time where I didn't want to live anymore.
And it was Ryan that had
inviting me over.
Not just invited him in, but made sure that he was accepted, made sure that he had fun, made sure that whatever was important to him was important to the rest of us, and really, truly brought him in as a friend.
I could say thank you for the next of all of eternity, and it wouldn't be enough. I love you, Ryan.
Revelations like that have been a great source of comfort for the Fischer family. Knowing Ryan's place in heaven makes the overwhelming grief a little more bearable.
If he had the ability and he were asked if he could come back and be with us here, that he wouldn't. That there was no doubt, you had no doubt that that's where he is where he ultimately strived to be. And granted, I did not want it to be this soon, but I am very thankful to know, without a doubt in my heart, that that's where he is. And as a mom, there is no way I could get through any of this if I didn't have that knowledge.
One of Ryan's last achievements on this earth was to lead his hockey team to a victory in the state quarterfinals. He was Granville's captain, the heart and soul of the team.
It was all about honor and battle.
The day Ryan went to heaven was the day his Bulldogs were scheduled to play in the semifinals. A difficult decision had to be made.
Coach Brazil had asked me first thing that morning if that's what we wanted to do. And my response was to bring his jersey out, you know, and hand it to Max and say, go play.
His dad that handed me the jersey and asked me to wear it and said no one else touched this. And so it was I felt really honored.
Remarkably, Granville soldiered on.
Every shift, we were looking at a boy going out on the ice with tears in his eyes.
The Bulldogs lost, but the outcome was irrelevant, and it's certainly not what this game will be remembered for.
I was not sure I wanted to go to that game.
The Fischers did go. They wanted to be there for Ryan's teammates. What happened was pure grace.
But I can't imagine now not having been there for that moment.
After the final horn sounded, Granville gathered together to honor its friend and teammate.
We knelt down and I was about to say the prayer and then someone said, wait, and I looked up and saw them coming.
In a show of compassion and amazing sportsmanship, Detroit Catholic Central wrapped its arms around the team it had just beaten and joined them in prayer.
How difficult was that prayer?
I don't think I made it through it.
How could you? Do you remember what you said?
I just said we would thank God for letting Ryan lead us.
I think I looked at you and I said, there he is, there's Ryan.
He may be gone, but the West Michigan hockey community is determined to keep Ryan's legacy alive. A scholarship in his name has been created to honor players that share his ideals of faith, patriotism, and unconditional love for others. For freshman Connor Fischer, winning that scholarship would be the best way to honor his brother.
I've always strived to be just like my brother, and so he was that person I've always looked up to ever since I was little, and try to be like him, all the sports he does, and just the great character, the kid he was. And so I think that's really what I'm striving to do now, and what I always will do for the rest of my life is be the kind of person Ryan was and live life like Ryan did.
If this scholarship is a success, it'll help a family and a community move forward and force Hollywood to wait even longer to write that ending. Because if more kids choose to live like Ryan, this story's only beginning.
Winston Churchill once said, "We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give." Ryan Fischer lived a rich and meaningful life.
Thank you, Jack. And to learn more about the legacy of Ryan Fischer, his scholarship, you can go to ryanfischer.org. They're hoping to raise $100,000 so it will be fully endowed. The hope is that they'll hand out a $2,500 scholarship each year to a person who lived like Ryan.
It's just such an incredible story,
Yeah.
and it's just so emotional. He is certainly an inspiration to many, no doubt about that.
You know, never had the opportunity to meet him, but as you talk to people and you just realize what an impact, a great impact he made. And it was things as simple as a smile and a hi, how are you, to just about anybody in a hallway.
Yeah, the cross-section of all those kids.
And as you saw with the one student, how powerful that was in his life and how much he needed that at that time.
Yeah.
And he was there and he brought him in.
Great story, Jack.
Jack,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.